What is up, y'all? Welcome to yet another episode of Taylor Eats. I am with a special guest, Jonathan McDonald. Also known as Jonnie Maine. Jonnie Maine. Now, a lot of things go around here. So, yes sir. So, real quick, though, we're about to go ahead and get into this cool little bio. I got to formally introduce you. So, let's go ahead and get into it, man. Jonathan McDonald. Jonathan McDonald is a Brazilian writer, entrepreneur, and former hip-hop artist born in Memphis, Tennessee. He drew inspiration from music legends and immersed himself in the underground music scene, where he developed his talent as a performer and songwriter. However, his life took a significant turn when he moved to Florida, becoming a single father and surviving a stroke that profoundly changed his outlook. Throughout his memoir, Jonnie Maine, Jonathan shares his journey of ambition, struggle, and recovery, providing insight into the music industry and his personal values. His story serves as an inspiring testament to perseverance and the importance of second chances. Man, Jonathan.
Thank you, man. You sound like a superstar.
Like
that. Who is he talking about? Like,
you a big deal. You know what I'm saying? For sure, man. So, as y'all may or may not know, Taylor Eats is the show where we have great conversation over great food. And today we have some great food. Today we have Southern Sides, I believe. Southern Sides.
Yes, sir.
So we're finna go ahead and get into this real quick. It's like a food truck that we got, really. So I'm finna let y'all know what I ordered first, and then you can just let them know what you ordered. So this is it's like Mexican style as well. Like, I went to the food truck, so you know,
it smells so good.
No, for sure. This is a street corn salad. I don't know what's in it, but it's a street corn salad. You know, this is my first time having this, so we're gonna see what it tastes like. And then I also just have a side of sweet potato fries. That's all I got. Man, what you got?
Man, I got a junkyard burger. Now, I'm not supposed to be eating burgers. I'm supposed to be away from the meat, but today I'm gonna get this junkyard burger because I heard a lot of talk up here in Nashville about the junkyard burger. So I said, man, let me get me a junkyard burger.
Yes, sir.
I love burgers. I love junkyard. Well, I don't love junkyard.
Yeah.
I'm trying to make it sound cool. You
nah,
know
you're
what
right,
I'm
brother.
saying?
Man. Let me go ahead and get let's fix this display real quick. Let's make sure. Is it blocking the food? Is it blocking the food, people? We good?
I think we good.
Okay, I just have to make sure. All right, man. So I got your utensils right there. You need it, man. So, man, we finna just dive into this and do like a review. So we'll take each review real quick, man, before we kind of get into the conversation. You know what I'm saying? So we'll go ahead and try this food before we talk about Jonnie Maine Memoir. This is his first book, right? Come on now.
That's my first book.
Yeah.
This is my first book. I got another book coming too by the end of the year. This one is it's called The Power of God.
Okay.
Now in that book I'll be talking about like God and different experiences, but with this being my first one, I kind of used it as a like a rough draft to the book world because it's easier to talk about something you're familiar with when you're writing and so forth. So I knew I could talk about it. I knew I had a lot of stories from the rap days when I was trying to get into music business that I could talk about. You know, and it made it easier. So I said, well, I'll let the first book be this to get some of these stories out.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Man, so
First.
it's comeback sauce. You ever had comeback sauce?
I haven't had comeback sauce, but if it say comeback in the sauce, we might need to check that out.
No, for sure.
Well,
You got it right in.
it really depends on where it's coming from.
Yeah, for sure. No, you good. Let me catch up a little bit. All right, cool, man. So,
Memphis,
we
ready to dive straight in.
Yeah, no, I'm sure. Yeah, it took a little minute to kind of prep all this, man. So I understand you need to not be hesitant. So I wasn't nervous. A street corn salad.
Street corn salad, that would be all right.
Yeah, street corn salad.
But it smells so good.
It does smell good. I need a second bite. Man. I'm not sure if you're familiar, man, but I have this thing where I speak to the food spirits. Yeah, I do it on my head. So we finna do that today.
Let's do it.
influences. I know in the book we talked about Prince, Bobby Brown, Michael Jackson. Like how did they inspire you to get more into music?
Well, Michael Jackson is just a personal thing. Michael Jackson is almost like an uncle that I never had. So my mother was crazy about Michael Jackson. My dad was crazy about Michael Jackson, and this is when they were, they grew up with him, from ABC all the way to whatever. So naturally, I heard that. And my first time, me growing up, born in 1981, when I came about, Michael was like getting ready to drop Thriller, or had just dropped Thriller, because I remember being little and the Thriller video coming on, scaring the hell out of me, and I used to want to watch it again. Like, I want to watch it again. So the Thriller era Michael was me, but again, both of my parents knew the old Michael, so they were playing ABC, this and that, all the dancing machine. Oh, I heard dancing machine. I knew how to do the dancing machine dance. That was probably the first dance I ever learned how to do, and I don't know how to dance. Yeah. But that's the first dance I learned how to do. Dancing. So I heard all the records and songs, the Jacksons, Can You Feel It? I heard all of that. I knew the story behind the Jacksons. I knew around the time I was kind of old enough to know what was going on. They were getting back together around the Motown 25th anniversary. Around that time, my dad had a VHS tape that had the Jacksons on there reuniting on Motown 25. Right after that went off, it was Purple Rain, the movie.
Yeah.
So between them two, that one tape, that VHS, he had Scarface at the beginning, and I was too young to watch that. Like, don't watch that yet. And I was like, this is the end, because he's okay, whatever. So, had that, and then right when that would go off, you had the Jacksons, you had the little performance from Motown, when they come out, the brothers, and then Mike come out and do the Billie Jean, and when he did the Billie Jean, it killed me. Because I'm like, damn, this is too cold. Yeah. Like, every time I watch this, it's too cold. Like, he just grabbed me, like, it's like the world knew, and they hadn't even really heard the song yet, but you just knew. He told the brothers, I love you, all of me, we're good to go, and this and that. Those are the old songs, and he looked at the screen and said, these are the new songs. God dang, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo! And then go and he killed it with the Billie Jean. So that blew my mind. That whole thing just blew my mind. And then Prince, right after that would go off, the Purple Rain would come on. Well, I memorized Purple Rain. I used to always tell girls in the school, hey, I want to go jump in the lake with Melatonin or whatever the hell he was saying. Like, I was fanned out, but when Bobby Brown came, the bad boy, don't be cruel, Bobby Brown. Bro, I had the Gumby haircut. I made my dad, because my dad used to cut my hair, so I begged him, because my dad was kind of like, hey man, you ain't got to copy what they doing, you could just listen to me. I'm like, no, I need the cut. I need to go to school, mine was kind of like a step. It's in the book. If they see, it's like a little step, a little bit. It ain't really. But that was Bobby Brown was everything to me. My dad even took me to see Bobby Brown in concert in Memphis. I think he was performing with you had New Edition, you had Boys to Men, a couple of people on the ticket. I was there to see Bobby Brown. It was like at either the Pyramid or the Mid-South Coliseum in Memphis. And I saw Bobby Brown. And when I saw Bobby Brown performing, I probably shouldn't have been addicted to this because I was young, like 10, 11 or whatever, but I even seen him bring girls up on stage and he sang this song, she's a tenderoni, she's a special little girl. And every time he would bring a girl out in the crowd and he did something like real promiscuous with the girl on stage in Memphis. It was a big thing. And I remember my dad put his hands on, hey boy, don't be looking at it, I'm kind of like, yeah, nigga, I ain't looking. Yeah. Like I ain't paying attention. So I saw that, but what really got me, I saw like how the crowd was, they were to this man. Yeah. Like the girl, he had the girl, like, like that's what you do. Like he had all the pretty girls. When he performed all of them songs, he had then I was a Ghostbuster fan. Oh, nigga, man, he dropped a Ghostbuster remix or whatever. I was just like, okay, this is like that dude there. Even though rap wasn't out, that dude is the reason I kind of wanted to go to rap because what he was doing.
Okay.
That's just it.
So what would you say the difference is between Michael Jackson and Prince versus, and like how, I know you said Bobby Brown kind of inspired you, like I guess like in the rap scene, right? But would you say there was a particular difference that really kind of stood out to you from Prince, Michael Jackson to like Bobby Brown? Like there's like the difference is a genre for sure, but I'm just trying to see what.
For me, Prince and Michael Jackson were almost the same, right? I was crazy about Michael Jackson. I was crazy about Prince because my parents and my family was into Michael Jackson. And they was into Prince too, obviously, because my dad got me into Prince. But Prince was different because my thing I got out of Prince was he promoted his music through movies. So first I saw Purple Rain because I had that tape on my mind over and over and over. He dropped a movie called Graffiti Bridge. Again, it was kind of like a musical movie. You had his real stuff. He's beefing with Mars Day and trying to get the chick like Purple Rain. But this is, and then he had a movie he did before those called Under the Cherry Moon. And again, that inspired me because it was like I saw how he was keeping his crew involved. All of them people were Prince and Mars Day's crews, and they got them on the camera. So you know these people, you seeing these people, you meeting a Sheila E., you seeing Jerome, you seeing all of these names and all of these faces that are showing up in all of these movies. So for me, even when you get to my music and what I got to doing, I got to try to put music and movies together with it. That kind of came from Prince because I saw that was genius to me. Like, I mean, Purple Rain, that made you, if you didn't listen to Purple Rain, you didn't even like his music, after you watch Purple Rain, you're going to at least love the Purple Rain now. You ain't got to like nothing else. If you watch that movie, because he played it all through there, you know why the doves cry. You saw the chick jump into the lake, Minnetonka, that's the dove crying. You saw it. Like, you couldn't, dude was a genius. So,
that's next level for sure.
Absolutely, yes sir.
Man, so let's get into this. What was your inspiration? Since we are here talking about your book, man, what even inspired you to write your first ever book?
So, what inspired me to probably write a book?
Yeah, what inspired you? What inspired you to write this?
Well, so we did a lot of different things from the group, from the X camp. Then when I got to Florida and I started Paper Boys, there was a lot of different stories and a lot of different things that we did, especially like even in the X camp days, like we were doing stuff. And now that I even sit back after we've written the book, after whatever, I've heard even other people and other members of the group constantly talk about some of the stuff that we did. As I wrote it, because I was the one kind of experiencing it and going through some of this stuff. After I wrote it, I got to looking. I was talking to my partner Wall Street, and we kind of was. It was just like, wow, we really did a lot. You know what I mean? Like we really seen a lot. We really did a lot. We pursued a lot, and it was stuff that wasn't given. It was just some stuff that was. It's always off the lane. It was always something that was like totally crazy, and we really lived it, and we did it. And people had been telling me, you need to put out that in a book. You need to. All these stories just sent. I told somebody this story, the Source Award story one time, and they were like, dude, you ain't wrote that in no book. And I'm like, I'm not writing like a book. Yeah. And they were like, yeah, just that story need to be out there. And I was just like, I don't know how to. Yeah. And so that kind of led a lot of that, just a lot of people over the years kind of just telling me like, man, that really happened to you for real? You seriously that happened? They need to put it in the book, so that's what made me say, you know what?
Experience beating Russell Simmons, man.
Okay, so, all right, you going there?
I know, I just jumping in there. Yeah.
We can go there. No, it's cool. All right, so with Russell Simmons, what ended up happening was, back then, to me, he was the man. Like, he put I wasn't a Def Jam fan. My friends were. They were all into the North music, but I was into him as a businessman. I saw everything he had going on. He had Fat Farm, he had the fine Chinese wife, he had the little, you know what I'm saying? He had made all these millions of dollars, and I was reading his book he had that was called Life, Death, plus Sex and Drugs or something like that. Like his memoir or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And in his book, that became like a Bible to me at the time. This was during the X Camp time a little bit. And everybody had always known I was a book freak anyway. I've always been a book freak. Even in my house now, in my bedroom, there's books. You can ask my daughter. There's books. There's books. I should get bookshelves. I'm a little cheap, whatever. I could go to maybe Family Dollar or somewhere and give me some bookshelves. Not Family Dollar or Goodwill. Give me some bookshelves, whatever. I'm lazy, but I got a lot of books. They just all over the place. They're in the way. Sometimes books I use them. I use the books as furniture, whatever. I got just so many books.
Yeah.
So during that time, reading that book, you know, his biggest thing in that book was like he always went after his dreams. He always went after what he believed in. So between that book and then there was another book called Who Moved My Cheese by Spencer Johnson, MD.
Who moved my cheese?
Who Moved My Cheese?
Who moved my cheese? Okay.
And that book is like one of the biggest inspirational books I've ever, to this day. If you read it, it's a short book. It's about 4 rats. They were looking for these cheese stations or whatever. You had 2 rats that were about their hustle. They didn't go to sleep looking for these cheese stations. They didn't do nothing. All they did was look for these cheese stations. Even when they found them, if they found the cheese station, they didn't even take off their shoes or nothing. Still discouraged. They didn't want to go because they looked at it like, okay, you know, we found a cheese station here. There may be another one. There may be this cheese may go. We keeping our shoes on. We always hustling. Then you had the others. I forgot the other 2 mice' name, but the other 2 mice, they were lazy. They didn't really want to. They get to the cheese station and take their shoes off and go to sleep. They get comfortable. Even when the cheese is running low, instead of them trying to figure out, hey, yo, we gonna need some cheese soon. Shit finna get it. They just lazy, so they didn't make it. So that book inspired a whole lot of stuff that we had going. So again, so we go back to the Russell Simmons thing. With Russell Simmons, the first time I tried to meet him was when we went to the Source Awards and Source Award. I met him, shook his hand, got to talk to him, but it wasn't a big deal. The time that I actually got to meet him and make a relationship with him was when we went to New York. Once we were in New York, we were at the Port Authority in New York, in Manhattan. And in the Port Authority, again, we tried to sell CDs to people. Me and my partner, Casper, we called ourselves Stiff and Scurry, because we was inspired off of Who Moved My Cheese, right? While me and Cass getting in the Port Authority, we up in New York or whatever, going back for whatever we wanted to New York for at the time. They'll know when they get in the book, but we needed a guy. Because I just, again, when me and him looking for people to sell CDs to, we look for non-people that don't even look like they listen to rap. That's probably who's going to give me the $20 versus a nigga that listens to rap. He didn't, man, well, how many bars you got, man? Spit something. Yeah. Man, let me get it for the 7. I think I need all of it. No. Let me get to the lady that don't know nothing about rap. That she just, oh, man, let me give you the $20 and I hope you succeed. Yeah. I love you. Yes, ma'am. So we see a guy dressed up in a suit, right? Yeah. And this is right at the Port Authority in New York. This is where the Greyhound buses pull up in and all the buses pull up in New York. So we did the fucking, sorry, but the Port Authority and man, the Port Authority. So it's early morning and all we're thinking about is like, you know, smoke weed, whatever at the time. So we're like, shit, we're trying to get some money. Like we had a little money, but it's still like, for me and him, it's a hustle. Yeah. So we both out there trying to hustle, talking to people, whatever. We run into this dude. This dude is dressed sharp. He's dressed to the nines. He's in a suit and he's talking on his phone to somebody else. He's telling them like, yeah, I'm about to get my windshield wipers my windshield shipped in from Europe or something, this and that. So we look at each other like, you know, like money sign, like, dang, like, we're gonna get him first. So we go around the phone and we get to talking to him, we run our game to him. It's almost like the scene in, you seen The Temptations?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of like this.
In the restroom?
Yeah, it's kind of like similar to that. So we go to him, we talking to him, and we talking to this guy, and this he says, I'll buy the CDs from y'all or whatever. I like y'all hustle. And he gives me he takes a piece of paper that we had. He said, man, I got a friend that's interested that does what y'all do. Call me today about 5 or 6 o'clock. I'm gonna try to see if I can introduce y'all to him. Not thinking shit about it. You know what I mean? We're just like, okay, let me get his number. And so he writes his name down. His name is Africa. He wrote his name down. At the end of his name, he wrote in big letters, Russell. He used the 2 S's were dollar signs. Still not thinking Russell sent me. I'm not, it don't even, we just some random nigga in New York who just bought 2 CDs, because he bought 2. He bought one for me and my partner, because he was like, I get y'all, and I'm just gonna give them out, because I don't really listen, but I got somebody that does what y'all do, and y'all need to holler at him. So we just like, okay. So he said his name Russell, he write that on the thing. At the time, we just like, hey bro, thanks for starting the day out, nigga, with the 20. Like, I got 20, my nigga got 20, so nigga, we up. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Alright, cool. We go, then we go to Def Jam to meet with our A&R rep, Rob Love, at the time, Rob Love, whether we at Def Jam that day. Then we go to Interscope. We had a long meeting with Interscope. They had us about 2 hours in Interscope. Didn't sign nothing, but they were just playing music and looking, and they just looking, and they older, and they just looking, but nobody's saying that. So, but they not saying that, so we there. We go to, we went to Interscope, we went to TBT, went to a couple of record labels, and then you got to think we walking around New York too, and we catch the subs to go to this place, that place, so you got all of that. So by the time, let's say we went to 5 or 6 labels, which is a lot, considering where they at and how we get around. Ain't like a taxi just taking us everywhere. We catch a sub, whatever. Yeah. Alright, finally toward the end of the day, we ain't really getting nothing to hit. It kind of broke our feelings when the Def Jam rep wasn't there, because we used to look forward to that. It was always like, no matter what's going on, we go to New York and we know we can go to Def Jam and get a meeting. Yeah. And that's always gonna kind of boost the ego a little bit, like, yeah, nigga, we better than you niggas. Yeah, for sure. We just got to meet in Def Jam. This is before we been in Russell. So we get done, everything is done, and we get ready to go back. And my boy Sex is, he's like, hey man, he said, what about that nigga number that you got earlier, or whatever, the guy Africa? I'm like, oh shit, okay, yeah. So I'm going to pull it out, and I'm like, I'm gonna call him. We call him, or whatever, and he was their daddy phone, or whatever, and he pops up, and he's like, oh hey, yeah, I was talking about y'all earlier to somebody. He was like, where y'all at? So I tell him the street we on, we somewhere close to 7th Avenue. He's like, go to the 40th, I think it was 43rd and 7th Avenue. He said, man, go there, or where it was 7th Avenue, I know it was a street. He said, go to 7th Avenue, and once you get there, call me back. So we go walk, take a little minute, we get there, and we call him, and they're like, hey, we over here at 7th Avenue. We tired of motherfucker, like, well, what's up? He's like, yo, look on the side of the building. Now it's cold too. It's cold. We Memphis dudes. We Southern dudes. It's cold. It's stupid cold. It's nighttime, bro. It's like 6 or 7 at night. It's cold. We Memphis dudes. We trying to get to this dude, and we don't know who we going to see yet. So then we get on the side of the building, like, hey, okay, we get inside the building. It's cold. What's up? Like, and he's like, man, you see the truck over there? I'm like, yeah, I see a black Escalade. Whatever. He's like, go up to the door. You're gonna go talk to this guy. His name is Kenny Lee. Kenny Lee is Russell Simmons' assistant. So at this point, it's like, hold on, this motherfucker say Russell Simmons. The nigga just say, what? Hold on, the nigga that we just met at the Port Authority, he just said Russell Simmons. That's how it ain't even registering. And this nigga's like, hey, go over to the. So it's finally like, snap back, like, okay, motherfucker, we going. Yeah. And we go over to this truck, this Expedition, whatever, this black truck, black windows, sitting on the corner on 7th Avenue and I think it's 40th, whatever the street is, and he's like, and it's where the Fat Farm building used to be at. We didn't know that at the time. So he comes and he's like, I want you to go ask this guy named Kenny Lee. When you see Kenny Lee, y'all gotta tell him Africa sent you. So we cold, and it's so cold we can't talk. See, we in the South right now, so you can't imagine. Imagine being cold where y'all talk like that. So we like, hey.
Gotta have a mask on?
No, it's cold now. Back then, it wasn't no shiesty mask. We should have, but it wasn't no.
Yeah, it wasn't a popular band.
It wasn't even a thing.
Yeah.
Hey, are you Kenny Lee? That nigga look scared. Nigga just, the window rolled up. Man, it's cold, motherfucker. So we on fire. And you got your lips froze, so you're talking like this, like you shouldn't have. And I'm telling him, hey, Africa, and then we tell him, like, hey, Africa, we on the phone, Africa, this thing, and I kind of cracked when we said, no, who? And we said, man, we asked you, we out Memphis, man, we're trying to get to Africa. And he said, Africa? Y'all know Africa? He's like, yeah, we got him on the phone. Yeah. And nigga said, in that case, I'm Kenny Lee, like some TV show shit. Yeah. Roll this window down, it's cold as shit, it's snowing on us, and then we just like, hey, Africa, we're gonna call you back. Call him back, we sat there, we talked with him for a minute, he told us to get in the car. He said, man, get in. He called us country bumpkins because first he said, y'all from Memphis? Yeah. He said, man, I got some people down there. I'm from Memphis too, man. He said, you know what? Man, get in the car. So he let us get in the car. Oh, thank God, because it's cold enough. Motherfucker out there. So now we standing out. We warming up. We sitting in the car. I'm actually sitting in the car seat that Russell Simmons sit in. He tells me because it's got these little nose strips I guess Russell Simmons used to work back then or whatever.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting in the seat that had the pack of nose strips because I asked him. He said, "Yeah, that's where Russell used to sit." So he's talking to us. He done took the CD. He popped the CD in. I'm thinking, we living good. And then he's like, we just telling my story. I'm going 1,000 miles per hour though. I done told him everything I'm probably talking about in his book in like 30 seconds. Yeah, man, we was in Memphis, Tennessee. We did a HQ. And the dude like, that's right there. He's like, man, what the fuck did you make? Okay, calm down. You know what I'm saying? And then he said, look, here's what's gonna happen. He said, Russell's gonna call my phone. When he called my phone, he's gonna go stand out there. I gotta go drive up to 7th Avenue, but it's crowded. It ain't like how it sounds. It's, you're in New York, taxis, you're in Manhattan, it's all taxis. There's so many fucking taxis. Then they all over. So it takes a minute to get to 7th Avenue. It ain't like you can just go, even though it's right there. It's gonna take them 15 minutes to do it. But like when he called, y'all hop out, y'all go talk to him. I had nothing to do with what he tell y'all. Okay, fair. You know what I'm saying? We sat in the truck. I had the nose strips, nigga. Nigga, this enough. If he say fuck y'all, nigga, this enough. Next thing happens is right after that. So here we go. And me and my boy Sam were walking. At the time, I wear glasses, so if I don't have my contacts in or some glasses on, I can't see. Zach could see. So he's kind of grabbing my arm like he used to do this all the time, kind of pull me in the right direction. So we looking for Russell Simmons. We're walking. Bumped into this little short dude. I'm about to cuss this motherfucker out. I'm like, man, who the fuck is this? This little short motherfucker. He's like, hello, what's up, guys? I said, well, damn. This motherfucker gonna be over there like, God bless you tonight, you know what I'm saying? Like, damn, this nigga, like, little bit ass nigga. He right there, and he talking. And again, I just go 1,000 miles per hour. I'm like, Russell Simmons, because I just read you a book this morning. And then I go to Port Authority and I sell a CD, and I still don't get some nigga and he writes Russell with $. I still don't, I don't get it because in my mind that it can't be right. There ain't no fuck. I just close the book. So in my mind, it just nigga say something like Russell with $, is the S's. In my mind, ain't no fucking way. You ain't talking about Russell Simmons that I'm talking about, that I sleep, eat, drink, breathe, that I chase down to the source. He ain't talking about that Russell. He just is a nigga in New York, just some nigga named Russell that make have a connection. Dog. So at this time, it's blowing my mind. So Russell talks and first he said, "What's up, guys? How are you?" It's too much. It's way too much. And he's kind of laughing. He's like, "All right, man, walk with me." And he's walking to the van where Kenny Lee is at, the truck or whatever. He walks there, he stops, and he gives me his phone number, his personal number. He gives me Kenny Lee's phone number, and he tells me, "You're better off calling Kenny Lee to get to me, because Kenny Lee controls, he's everywhere I'm at. He does everything I do. So you probably better off calling him to get to me, but you can." And that opened the relationship to, now here's the thing. He didn't give us a record deal, obviously, because I'm not sitting here famous signed by Def Jam after 10 years and no bullshit. But he did open up. He gave us, I got all the Fat Farm merch you can think of. Had all of the crew had that 2-3 pair of Fat Farm shoes, Fat Farm this, Fat Farm that, whatever. We got into any Fat Farm event, and then we were helping with the vote at the time because he was kind of getting out of music, which he never really made it clear to us, which, whatever, I felt the way about that. But he would do anything that dealt with the voter shit, though, with the, hip hop summits he was doing. He even was talking about bringing a hip hop summit to Memphis. We were on the news with that because Russell said, yeah, all of the celebrities said, yeah, you're fucking Dame Dash. We had a letter from Dame Dash. We had a letter from Willie Harrington. We had a letter from A.C. Warden. We got all, and I got all of this stuff. The rest of the people in the hip hop community, like certain DJs, certain clubs, certain so-and-so were supposed to sign on to say, because it was a hip hop summit, so it's like a non-profit type of thing. Like you don't do it like, hey, I'm gonna charge you. This is like you submitting your time for that's you solidifying your, to help out. In Memphis, like DJ Paul said, it's the city where they love to hate. So we wasn't getting, and we were there because we was, man, if I'm showing you a letter from Dame Dash, the 90s Dame Dash, not the one now, not the T-Fall out. Yeah. I'm talking about the one now. Yeah. I'm talking about the old Dame Dash, the one that we all admired, the one that brought us Jay-Z and everything else that came along with them times. That dude writes a letter directly to us. Dear Jonathan McDonald and Track Lashur of XBI 16 Levels Records, I will show support at the Hip Hop Summit. To you got that. You got them from. We get them kind of letters. These are letters and faxes we got. Nobody wants to support us. So the news did a news report. We still got the report. We put it on our DVD to show everybody. The news report showed that, because they were asking, they had even like, yo, Russell Simmons been tracking and doing this hip hop summit in all these states, and it's one of the most popular ways to get voters, this and that. Why can't he come to Memphis? So it was almost like we were putting it back on the city, like, yo, we went and did everything we could do. Yeah, we had millions of dollars we trying to get there, but yo, y'all had a way to school us in. It was just because everybody kind of didn't really like us, whatever the case was at the time. We didn't, that didn't really happen. And these are grinds that we really did. So yeah, but that's all of that kind of started the Russell Simmons Day. He invited us to Detroit, to the Hip Hop Summit in Detroit. We went out there, keep it big. I got to meet Eminem, Obi Trice, Trick, Jackie O. At the time, the chick named Jackie O. That was like, we got to meet a whole bunch of people. So it was cool. He did everything he kind of could, but he didn't ever like, all right, let me walk out on the Def Jam and just get this pop. Even though I ain't fucking with music, Russell, I can make this pop. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, yeah, I was definitely say he was. You did say he was transitioning out of music at the time.
Yeah, but he never came to us to tell us that. I found it out through reading books later. And then it wasn't in the music at the time. Like he never came to say, hey, I don't really mess with the music no more. Yeah. He would invite us to all this stuff. We could go to the Fat Farm offices up in New York. We can go to different hip hop summits. We get free this, free that. We get Fat Farm shoes. We get but the homie ain't never coming through and say, hey, I don't really mess off like that. No, like I can kind of help a little bit because I'm kind of out of it. He ain't really never. But I don't care. I don't fault him for that. But that's the only thing we never knew. That okay, you kind of out. But we had an A&R rep. We were dealing with Rob Love anyway. So it kind of worked out still a little bit, but at the same time, that was the only part of it, you know.
Yeah. Now you I know you mentioned like the letters from Dame Dash and just all the other artists and stuff like that. Man, do you still have the letter? I'm just kidding. Did you bring the letter with you?
I didn't bring the letter. I had the Hip Hop Summit letters though. Okay. Like from the mayor, from AC Ward, and I got one from Willie Harrington. I didn't have those. Those at the house. I didn't even bring them to even think of this. But no, I never had. Now, me and Track ain't spoken in some years or whatever. But he may still have those letters because they were directed to me and him. You know what I'm saying? It was Track Lashur and Jonathan McDonald. So I'm not sure, but it was from Dame Dash, from Rockefeller, and it was him saying, I will fully participate and help with anything that y'all need in the Memphis community in regards to the hip hop summit. That's exactly what the letter. So it just said, whatever y'all need from me or Rockefeller, bro, the hip hop summit, you got it. So I don't know what all that would have been because we never got to get that deep, but it seemed like if we needed radio drops, we needed whatever, we needed commercials, we needed whatever. It was almost like it's on the house as long as it's on this hip hop summit. Because we were trying to register voters, you know, you had George Bush, John Kerry, Edwards were the candidates at the time, and a lot of people trying to give them a shot at it, you know, they go. So, there was some stuff out like that. These real stories, I ain't
No, for sure. I'm following you the whole time, bro. I think I'm a visualist, so I like to visualize. I can visualize the story as you're telling it and just kind of hearing everything, you know, about the whole Russell Simmons type story, I guess. That's incredible. Any kind of like photos
no, Maine is just a Memphis word. He was Mr. Maine. He was actually Little B first. That's what everybody used to call him, Little B. And I was Jonnie Maine. Yeah. Later, by the time he became Mr. Maine, I kind of was becoming Jonnie Mac. So it wasn't never at the same like time. People that knew me, like even to this day, a lot of them still call me Jonnie Maine. That's just what they remember. Yeah. But we never like it wasn't like we did that on purpose. We could have, you know what I'm saying? We never did that on purpose. That just happened to be his rap name was Mr. Maine. And we didn't even spell Maine the same. Like I spell mine like Maine the state. Yeah. He spelled it M-A-N-E, like, you know, like the Memphis, the slang. Yeah, so we kind of did that, but he, no, when we were rapping, like, you know, like I said, I talked about this in my book. There was a time we was at a church called, we went to this church called Memphis called Comedy Street Baptist Church, and at the time they had a day where they had, like, stand, but this one Comedy Street was small, you know, Comedy Street's big now, this is when it was kind of small, and it was on the Cumberland, and that's when we were there, and when we were there, they had this thing where they did, so Stan Bell, he's a prominent DJ in Memphis, and well, it used to be, I think he still do DJing or something like that. Now, back then, he was for the kids and hip hop and all that. Stan Bell had roll call. Well, Mr. Maine, Lil B and his clique, the Frazier clique, and all of them, they got popular off doing like roll call and doing different things like that. And anyway, Stan Bell ended up showing up at the church one night at Comedy Street, and he was doing like, it was like a thing for Halloween, like hip hop, Hallelujah, something like that they used to do for the kids, kind of offset the Halloween vibe or whatever. So when they did that, they invited Stan Bell out there. Stan Bell and the church, Stan Bell and the crew at the time came, and when Stan Bell came, he wanted to do a roll call. And we did the roll call, and at the church, like the church didn't really know how we got down. I'm sure they kind of knew, like, you know, cuz like this, something like that, but it wasn't really like nobody had heard you rap because you're at church. Who can you rap at church and be you? Yeah. Well, this thing, we still had to be clean, but here we go, we at the church, we in front of everybody. I remember cuz kind of hit me, like, I remember I was nervous, like, hey bro, like this time I'm with my little click crazy fam, so I'm kind of like, hey, I do record in the studio, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm bougie, I do record in the studio or something. Cuz, like, you getting out here now. Like, this is live. And, man, we went out there and we did, we went in, you know, we did a little roll call, Stan Bell, here's what's up, y'all, what you gotta say, whatever you do. Who's on the mic with Stan Bell today? And then you just come in rapping. And so, of course, he killed it because this is his thing. He's used to this. He just needs to do this in front of people because people want to see who the fuck he is. He's killing it. And then I came out there and I did just something to do it. I wasn't just crazy guy freestyling, but I did a little something. And everybody in the church kind of hit us like, dang, y'all. Man, y'all. Oh, it's like that. Oh, and see, for him, he had an image for rapping. See, me, I was kind of like the school nerd that had the newspaper, so it kind of threw people off. Like, damn, you rap too? I'm like, yeah, I was telling you niggas I rap the whole time. They're like, no, we couldn't notice because the glasses were so big or whatever. So I didn't know what was going on. You know what I'm saying? So, I guess, they just nobody noticed. You know what I'm saying? Nobody took notice because it was like he kind of a nerd. Now, cuz in the street, but I was kind of like, you know. So they were like, damn, you did that? You wrote that? Did he write that for you? No, I wrote my shit. Like, you should have took him off like, can you see now? Yeah, facts. Can you see now? Because I can't see you, but can you see me now? You feel what I'm saying? Facts.
Yeah, bro, so I want to talk to you about your transition to Florida. You stay in Florida, right? Florida. Let's talk about it. So how was the experience like? The difference between Memphis and like, and what you learn, you know what I'm saying? This whole living experience in the state.
Well, it was fire. So when I went to Florida, it wasn't like I was kind of looking for it, right? So
you said it wasn't?
I wasn't even looking for it. I had no idea. So really what happened is the ex-camp broke up. A lot of friends and people that I considered close to me had kind of started turning their back on me and whatever. Separation was, God was separating everybody from me. Only person that I was around is one of these people that are one of my best friends to today. My boy at Wall Street, right? And he was from the A's camp, but he wasn't a rapper. He was just kind kind of like a roadie, but he was around since he first started because he was friends with members of the group. So Wall Street, and at the time everything broke up, and it kind of led to me and him being together, you know. And so then, even at that time, we ended up basically group split up, things happened, whatever. His mother kind of invited me. We were living in the car, but his mother had kind of been calling, telling me, hey, you need to move to Florida. You need to move to Florida, get your life together. He kept kind of trying to avoid it because his thing was, man, you gonna be hard, bro. Man, you hard, I believe you. And we're sleeping in the car. So you don't have to go. You got comfortability you can go to. You don't have to. But he's like, I believe in you that much. Even though originally he wasn't even my friend. He was somebody else's friend first in the room. And he's gonna turn to, you know what I mean? And his thing was like, bro, if I leave, you ain't gonna have nowhere to live because it was his car we sleeping in. You don't have no help. You don't have no backup. You stuck by yourself. I'm not going nowhere. And one day he gave me a phone. You know, one day we sleeping in this, and we sit in the car because we cheap. So we sell the CDs every day. We making $300-400 a day, but we cheap niggas. So it's like, yo, unless we take the chick somewhere to the room, like, I ain't gonna get on. All I'm gonna do is take a shower with her. I'm gonna do this. So that's how we look at it. Yeah. So and we make so it wasn't like we was just bums. We know, but we're just young, cheap, whatever.
For sure.
And so as we doing that and we getting ready to, like I said, his mom called one day. He tells me like, yo, my mom wanted to talk to you. And I'm like, yo, because I had met his dad before. His mom lived in Florida because she was the plant manager of the post office in Pensacola. One of the first black women in America, probably the second or the first black woman in America to be a plant manager, meaning over the entire post office. She's the top boss. I'm writing a book about her too. That's a whole nother subject, but
yeah, for sure.
That's you know,
that's
so
a future podcast, future episode, guys.
That's a future episode. Yes,
Yeah.
sir. Miss King, and I talk about that in the book.
Yeah.
And so she calls and she basically is like, you know, telling me like, you know, I know you don't know me, but William is crazy about this. The son, Wall Street, his name William. Yeah. And she's just like, you know, William's crazy about whatever you got going on with this music stuff. He really, because I'm thinking this lady finna cuss me out, because I know how my mama probably would have did it. You know what I'm saying? Like, what the hell my son riding around with you for? Goddamn it, I'm telling him to bring his ass home down to Florida, and he said he want to stay with you, and then he ain't even a rapper for real at the time. Yeah. Right? Yeah. He puts me on the phone because he kept telling me, like, yo, mama, I just want to talk to you. Mama, I want to talk to you. I'm kind of trying to avoid it because I'm kind of like, man, she probably you know what I'm saying? No, she called, and that's what she was asking. She was like, yo, if you come down here to Florida, what I can do is I can offer y'all jobs at the post office as seasonal workers. So this will get y'all in. Once y'all get in doing that, you can go take the test. In this process, this will probably scoot you to where you can get in the post office. That being the post office was this prestige job. Yeah, so it was like, you know what? We want to go try this, see if we can do it. Yeah. And that's when man just go to Pensacola. We got to Pensacola. The job kind of fell through. I may or may not fail the drug test because somebody had weed in their system. Somebody, maybe not. Somebody, not him, not Will. It was only two people that went, but somebody had weed in their system. We didn't get the jobs doing the post office thing, so immediately I go get a job at Crystal's as soon as we get there. And it was just bringing in a little money, and then from that kind of led to looking at a newspaper article and got another little job down there, and it kind of got me good. That's what got me into Florida. His mom's grace to say, hey, if y'all come here, you don't owe me nothing, don't pay nothing, don't worry about the money. I just want y'all to get out of Memphis. I don't want y'all sitting in cars. I want y'all to be safe. And William was saying that he ain't going nowhere unless you are safe. And so I'm asking you on the sake, for the sake of my son, pretty much like, we all come to Florida, so that way I know y'all safe. And it couldn't look like she saved my life. You know what I'm saying? Like, she didn't have to do that. Because I probably wouldn't do that for my kids and friends. You know what I'm saying? Like, you ain't come to stay with me. Like, it is what it is. But she did. And she helped. And that was a big, you know. And that ended up opening up the whole thing for Florida.
And for a reference point for the viewers, the date, what
like, hey, I got a job in Gainesville. Let's move to Gainesville. At the time, I still didn't even know what. Because at the time, I ain't gonna lie, I had a little attitude when I first moved there. Because I'm like, ain't no beach around here. I just moved from Panama City Beach. The beach was like 3 blocks from my house. I could walk to the beach. Me and my kid used to walk to the beach. So it's like, oh, now I'm going to a city in Florida. I ain't no, man, what you mean ain't no beach here? I gotta drive an hour to get to a beach. So to me, that was kind of like, But anyway, I'm with this chick or whatever. But in December, and this was a night after I had just got through playing basketball. So it wasn't like I was bad health. I had basketball consistently. I went to the gym consistently. And I worked and I had my girlfriend or whatever, right? Well, anyway, December 17th, just a regular day, I get ready to go to work. I go to work. And once I get to work though, all of a sudden, I get dizzy. Just in the middle of the day, just out the blue. Get dizzy, kind of start falling over. I go in the break room, laying down like this because I can't really sit up. And I'm falling out the chair because, like the stroke is going on, which I don't know, it's a stroke at the time, but you can't feel, and it happened on my right side, so I can't feel nothing. So I'm over here, and I'm falling kind of, and people like, yo, in the break room, they're like, dude, your boss just came in here, and she looking for you. And I'm telling them, like, I'll be all right, whatever. And everybody kind of like wondering, because they used to me, I just used to sit at my desk. I didn't go nowhere else in the job. I just sat right at my desk, even at break, because it's only 15 minutes. I ain't gonna go walk around this call center or whatever and then get, get late. No, just don't sit right here. Like, I can do this and turn around and clock in. And this time, I was in the break room, so my boss was even looking like, where's Jonathan at? Because he normally don't even leave his desk. Now he's left it on break, and now it's past breaking. I'm just still in there like this, covered up. I'm stroking it at the moment. They call, so my boss calls, and I can't even lift my arms or nothing. I'm laying like this. She calls her girlfriend, and she calls the paramedics. Paramedics come, they do the vitals. The guy says right then and there, he's like, yo, he's having a stroke. You need to go, we gotta get you immediately to a hospital. So they took me to a hospital in Ocala, Florida. At the time, I think it was called Ocala Regional. I think they done changed the name now, but it was called Ocala Regional. Ocala Regional did a CAT scan. Immediately, all I remember is the chick saying to me, sweetie, your head is bleeding in your skull. We're gonna have to airlift you to Shands or whatever. All I heard is my skull bleeding, airlift, some weird shit that I ain't never heard before. So I'm like crying. You know what I'm saying? I'm crying because I'm like, my skull bleeding. Like, and I already was kind of dizzy and not knowing what was going on at the time. And I go to sleep. That's all I remember. I kind of passed out. They airlifted me from Ocala, Florida to Gainesville, Florida to Shands Hospital. I get to Shands Hospital. All I know is I woke up. And I'm wired, I'm connected to all this shit. And I remember waking up and saying, damn, I'm hungry as a motherfucker. And man, once I say that, you see all these people like doctors, like family members, everybody in this room, everybody break out laughing like, like good, he alive, this shit. And I'm looking like that, I'm serious, motherfucker, I'm hungry, like, this is food. Yeah, like, I'm out and celebrate. At the time, I can't even remember, I'm connected by leg, by this, neck, by all these wires, and then that's when somebody kind of ran it down to me what was going on, and even when they ran it down to me, like, I wouldn't get it because my brain was still rehabilitating and I couldn't remember nothing. And it was, man, it was a bad, I wonder what you know about it.
Speaking of rehabilitation and rehab, that whole process, man, grueling process, basically learning things over again, I guess to say. How was that? Was there something that you learned from that moment during that process of rehab?
I learned the power of God, which is what makes me write the next book I was telling you about.
Yeah.
Because at the time, I couldn't even, like they had some play money, right? And they're like, here, count to $1.29. That's easy. I go to dollar, you want to play dollar? I go a dime, is 20, or a nickel, is 5 cents. That's all I got. I can't think. I need these 4, this nickel and 4 pennies. my brain just can't. And the ladies constantly ask me like, sweetie, no, it's more just fuck you. And I go off, I flip the damn table. Then now, you gotta remember, I'm in a wheelchair, so whatever. But the little desk thing that they had, when I flipped that, I'm cussing, I'm yelling, F them, y'all just trying to trick me, this, y'all, and the whole time, all it was is I was really more frustrated because I couldn't count that all I needed was 29 cents. I just had the dollar and the 20 cents. And I couldn't put together why I couldn't get to 29. I think I even put a nickel with it, but I couldn't, my brain couldn't circulate like, yo, you need 4 pennies. Yeah. You got all the play money right here. They got all this shit laid out in front of you, but I couldn't calculate that, yo, I need 4 more pennies and I win this shit. So I got to acting, just saying stuff, crazy stuff, this and that. It was, man, it was,
It's been almost 10 years now, since that experience, man. And
December,
yeah, and then now look at you, brother. You know what I'm saying? Like this, God's good. You know what I'm saying? Like,
God is good all the time, every second, every minute. Yes, sir.
I want to ask you one more question before we get into our food trivia segment, man. It's gonna be a dope segment, by the way, bro.
Absolutely.
From your stroke and other experiences transitions that you had in your life, you know what I'm saying? Man, how would you say, you talk about the power of God, but how would you say your faith in God has been tested at those times? Because I feel like that's important for us to talk about and address,
Speak.
Yeah.
Pretty much throughout the whole, anything that you read in this, I was being tested. I was always being tested, even being young, whatever. I had always been tested because I knew God, and I knew God was real because I dealt with so many experiences in my life that showed me already that this was real. But the confidence of knowing it was real, that was challenging. You know what I mean? Like me accepting, like, this is how God works and this is real. So I used to get caught up in the, does God do this and this and that? Well, how come this and this and that? Like questioning God, questioning situations, not looking into the really or what's going on. It's just almost like I'm trying to be rebellious, trying to find a reason to not agree on. It's like I'm looking for a reason to say this ain't real, this power ain't real, this stuff ain't real, these stories ain't real, this Bible ain't real. No, I'm looking for reasons, and it's like I'm constantly being shown, but it was almost like for a minute in life I was fighting against God constantly showed me, like, in your life, I'm here, I'm real, and I love you. It was like I couldn't accept it. You know what I mean? So that was going on then. Now, by the time I got to about the stroke, and all that, I kind of knew a little bit later, like, there's something else, because I don't have to be here. Especially if you see what happened with the stroke. There's a commercial that they made, UF Health, Shands Hospital. They actually made a 2-minute video that used to be in my youngest daughter, Homie, when, it shows her really little, just saying, hey, I didn't know what was going on with my dad. He was about to die, and still, me describing the story, and basically them showing, like, hey, this is one of our survivors. So yeah, with all of that, that's just something that made me know that God was real. I had no choice. I had to. I had to figure out what was going on, and there's too many things that he's done in my life, too many situations. Man, we could be here for 5 hours. I could go, 10 hours, 24 hours. I could go here for 3 or 4 days, just telling you different stories and different stuff that God did, where God showed up and showed out to the point where now there's no way it's a question. The question now is, how did you ever go in a point of your life to thinking that it wasn't real? That's the new question. Like, how the hell did you ever have a point where you didn't think it was real because he did this for you, that for you, this for you, that for you, and you knew it? How did you ever even think that it wasn't real? That's how deep it goes in there. Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
right.
That's true. Man, so this has been a great conversation so far, man. I think we're about to get into this food trivia segment.
Man, let's get it, man.
Let's get into it. Alright, man, so you ready for this food trivia?
Man, I'm ready. Let's
get into this food trivia, man. So,
yeah.
I got 10 questions for you. 10 questions. sure.
Watermelon
Is watermelon
ain't a
fruit?
vegetable. No, it ain't a vegetable. I'm finna say it ain't a vegetable. Yeah, watermelon
It's a
fruit.
fruit.
Yeah.
I'm sure. My bad.
Tomato, that's the tree.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Fruit on the seeds on the outside.
Seeds on the outside. Okay. Strawberry. The answer is strawberry.
The seed on the outside?
Yeah. It got the little, like the little. Yeah.
Give me another one. Fuck that. Let me forget that. Give me another one. Okay, I see.
Okay.
Y'all trying to play raw.
Shoot, man. It's over one so far, man. It's
Oh,
over.
yeah, we didn't know.
Yeah.
Okay, y'all cheat. We gonna go.
So you actually, I'll give you this little hint. You did mention the answer in the last. When you're trying to figure out the question, figure out the answer to the last question, you actually mentioned the answer to this one. What common kitchen item was once used as a weapon in ancient Rome, often thrown at enemies during food fights? And it's kind of easy. What? That's kind of easy, bro. That's kind of easy.
They got a knife.
Nah, okay, so it's a
kitchen item used as a weapon.
kitchen item. Yeah, it was it's thrown in a food fight, so it's a food. I said it's food. So
Tomato.
yes. Okay.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay. I see, brother.
That boy know a little something.
Tomato, yeah.
Tomato.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay, good job, brother.
Alright.
Alright, man. There's 1 or 2, brother. Let's see here. What dish, often associated with the southern United States, is made from cornmeal and can be served as a side or a main dish? Sometimes baked or fried.
Cornbread. Cornmeal, catfish.
It's made from a cornmeal and can be served as a side or a main dish. Made from cornmeal.
Made from cornmeal.
Sometimes baked or fried. I don't know. You may or may not get this.
It's
like
made
it's a fried. It's wrong. I'm just saying. Yeah. No, I'm just joking. You're right. No, you're right.
Some Snickers. I don't know what that is.
I'm a trick question. Some more, yeah. Correct, bro. Got it right, brother. All right. Shoot. Okay. Question number 5. Which fruit is famously known as forbidden fruit in the story of Adam and Eve?
Apple.
Yeah. Correct.
They say that's why like Apple
Yeah.
phone.
Yeah.
Apple being out of it. They say Steve Jobs, whatever they were making it, they knew. Whatever. I ain't been going to the room. I ain't trying to start a podcast to this council. Because I can do it.
Yeah. You can't just steer me away because I'm about to make a joke. Probably gonna be offensive to women, bro. Probably gonna be a little bit, maybe. I'm just saying.
It's terrible. You gotta be careful. What?
I just said joke, so I'm not gonna be, you know what I'm saying? They don't know what I was gonna say.
She do, because
It's all up here. Okay. So far, okay, so that was question number 5. So you have to answer, I didn't answer, sorry. You got tomatoes. So, 3. Okay, so 3 to 5. No, 4 to 5.
So I got what, 3 of them right, 4 of them right? What? 3 of them.
You got 1 right. No, I'm tripping, I'm sorry. You got 4 right. Yeah, 4 right, 1 wrong. Okay. So question number 6. What is the main ingredient in traditional hummus? A popular dip originating from the Middle East.
I was gonna say, I thought hummus was a country, number 1.
Yeah.
So.
Nah, brother. Nah, brother.
Yeah, sure.
Are we tripping, brother? You said it, not us.
I ain't trying to get canceled on TikTok. Gen Z fans is a motherfucker. You be.
Nah, for sure.
Yeah, have all kind of clips of this.
Yeah.
Going viral. Like, I don't know. Sorry, Gen Z, but I don't know. I thought whatever.
what dairy product often used in baking and cooking is made by curdling the milk and straining the liquid, resulting in a creamy texture? I'm gonna repeat the question.
Yeah.
What dairy product often used in baking and cooking is made by curdling the milk and straining the liquid, resulting in a creamy texture? That's gonna be a little tough.
I know, I'm like, yo, I'm trying to phone a friend, he niggas like ain't looking at me. Like, I don't like, curdling milk, man. It sounds like.
Curdling milk is like the process of thickening milk, I guess. Making it
I remember the song, hey, little, something, the little lady eating curds and hay or something. I don't know. But I don't know, man. This is lost. Like, I don't know how really curdle. You threw me off with curdling milk.
Yeah.
Curdling milk. I barely drink milk. Like, curdle it.
Yeah. I mean, when I think of curdling
Bring it up to the chick. She said, hey, I want to curdle milk.
No.
It's all like.
Yeah, I ain't never. That sounds like that's such an 1860s thing to say.
Yeah.
Curdling milk.
Do you want to curdle the milk? I don't know what that means. Because it sounds like it could be, you know what I'm saying? Like this girl, like, hey, baby, you want to curdle the milk? You know what I'm saying? It sounds kind of fire, but then it sounds like you can get an essay too, because they be like, he asked me to curdle the milk. And then it's like, an essay. So I don't know. I don't
Because I think curdling milk, they may have to fact check me on this, but I believe that's like when people, I think like that's when they made ice cream or something like that. You know how they, like, either
Well, they
ice cream
couldn't
or
just say
cheese
I
or
make
something.
ice cream. No, they got to say, hey, I'm going to curdle the milk. That don't sound right.
Like, you know, like back in the day,
Like the chick say, hey, baby, you want to curdle the milk? I don't know.
You know, back in the day, like when they had like a little, they'll take like a little rod or something like that, and like they gotta constantly like mix it or something like that.
Nah, I was born in the 1981 hundreds, so
Yeah, and I'm just saying.
I think milk was in the store at that time.
Nah, for sure, yeah. I'm pretty sure it was like it had to be 1800s or something like that.
It might have been
That's
maybe
when
the
they started
1800s. I don't know.
Yeah, that's how they made cheese and stuff. They were like curdling it, I guess.
Really?
They'll take the cow milk, then they gotta keep mixing it.
I
The more you
remember
mix it-
Hey Diddle Diddle, somebody was eating their curds and hey, who was that?
Yeah.
Little Miss Manning or somebody, Miss Mac, Mary Mac, or
Yeah.
somebody was eating her curds and hay.
Yeah.
And I guess that's what they were talking about, but they didn't make it clear in the nursery rhymes. So
Yeah.
they were kind of fucked up for that, but we ain't gonna be mad though.
Okay, we got 2 more questions, brother.
Yes, sir.
Question number 9. What food do we commonly associate with a guilty pleasure? Often eaten straight from the tub while you binge watch TV.
Ice cream.
Correct. You're correct, brother. You're correct.
Yeah,
Okay. Last question.
I ain't no eating no curds and hay, you know what I'm talking
That takes a while.
about?
Oh, yeah. So, take another one.
A little more than a sip, but we good.
That also went out the wrong pipe. Oh, my God. Whew. All right.
Oh, God.
Yeah. Question number 10. What vegetable is known for making people cry? That's easy. And it's often used. Yeah, you're right. That's it. That's easy, brother.
I thought it was a fruit. But it, okay.
You thought onion was a fruit?
No, I didn't. I didn't.
You sure?
Take that
You
out.
sounded pretty confident.
Take that out. Take that out. I ain't take that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Take that out. Wait,
Yeah.
no.
Allegedly, you said.
Yeah. Accident. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my gosh, man. So you answered. I'm trying to see what the percentage was. 50%? Say 6. Yeah, 50%.
It was 60.
So 5. It was
Half
50.
and half.
Yeah, half and half, hey man. 5 out of 10, bro. That's what I'm
Put in
saying.
my coffee. Half and half.
Yeah, shit. Not too bad, man. Man, I want to say, bro, before we end everything out, man, this is a dope conversation that we had, man. It's been a pleasure listening to you kind of share your story,
books at, they can go get it. But Amazon will probably be the easiest place to go get it. But you got Apple Books, Kobo, or any of these different outlets. But Amazon will probably be your best bet.
100%, 100%. Man. So make sure y'all definitely shop for his book, man. So I want to ask you one last question. Question I want to ask you is, what is next? What is next for Jonnie Maine? What is next for Jonathan McDonald? Like, what's next?
For Jonnie Maine, I am. Well, I got another book coming out. I got a book coming out. It's gonna be called The Power of God. Should be coming out by the end of this year. It's gonna be different testimonies and different things that I've got of accounts of myself and other people that I know and people I'm related to and so forth. Of times that we know that God is things that have happened in your life that that hey, how people will say something and say, man, only God could do that. Or you've always heard that. I'm sure we black, Southern or whatever. So people always say, hey man, only God could make that happen. Or things that happen in your own mind that you know it could only happen if it was God. There was no other. So that's my next book, The Power of God. Should be out by the end of this year. So I got that. I bring my podcast back. I got a podcast called The Jonnie Maine Show. It's pretty much stopped it in 2022, 2021, somewhere like that. I kind of cut on it. So I'm going to get back to my podcasting and just anything creative. You can, like I said, I got about 3-4 more different books that's going to be coming out. Power of God is coming immediately. Got another one called Nightmare on Blackwater River. Got a kids book coming. So we working on it. We working there. I've dived into the film industry, and I plan on taking a lot of these books and a lot of these written things or whatever and turning them into full, motion picture visuals to some degree. Like even this, at some point I want to turn it into something film-wise, whether it's a TV show or Netflix or whatever. We in talks with some people on that now.
The only thing I ask is, I'm gonna come after, man. So if
if
you need someone else, maybe I don't gotta play you, but if I can play one of your friends or something like that. You know what I'm saying?
No, absolutely. No. I'll shake your hand on that. No,
okay. Yes, sir.
That's the deal.
Okay, sure.
So that's the next thing as far as like with that part of it, but just trying to get film, more books. Like I said, more on the creative side. Got a couple of movies that I'm working on, and just things of that nature that we're just trying to do. So, like I said, just trying to keep it creative and trying to keep it positive. I can't even think of what else that would really be.
For sure, man. Well, I'm looking forward to seeing where you go next, man, with all these endeavors, man, that you listed there. So that's make it happen, man. So this is an amazing conversation by my guy Jonathan McDonald. Jonnie Maine and Memoir. Make sure y'all check it out. It's available on Amazon or pretty much wherever you go to get your books. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you go ahead and check out his book, man. It was a pleasure talking to you. Definitely amazing. Check it out. I got my book as well. Come on now, we booked up. We got these books now, so get you one as well. Man. So hope y'all enjoyed this conversation and this episode of Taylor Eats. We look forward to seeing you in the next episode. Without further ado,
Today's episode of Taylor Eats was brought to you by Southern Sides, located in the Gulch in Nashville, Tennessee, where their motto is "Come hungry, leave happy." Visit them today.